What a journey it's been so far in the relatively young life of Elizabeth Oshoba, from Nigeria via the Commonwealth Games, where she medalled a couple of years ago, now to Bristol, and now as an unbeaten prospect and pro, making her 8th appearance. She's highly ranked with the WBC, whose champion Sky Nicholson is the target for many women around this featherweight. And she is ranked inside the top 10, Andy, so she's got plenty of ability. She will tower over Rojas too.
Absolutely, physically these two are very, very different. I'm looking forward to seeing Oshoba because, as you say, a good showing in the Commonwealth Games, silver medal, lost to Michaela Walsh, who's a really good fighter. Got Tony Borg in the corner there. That's a really experienced setup. They've had some great fighters go through that St. Joseph's gym. They don't mess about, so if she didn't have some ability, they wouldn't be there, would they?
Yeah, what a journey it's been for her, Oshoba, and also Tosin Kajawa, who we're going to see later on. Both of them youngsters in their 20s from Nigeria, who've been brought across and are doing good things. Both 25-year-olds, you can see 7-inch height advantage for Oshoba and the reach to go with it as well. So can she make that pay? She hits pretty hard with the right hand. She's got the 4-inch reach advantage to boot. Everything in Oshoba's favour tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout scheduled for 6 2-minute rounds in the women's featherweight division. This bout is brought to you by Johnny Clark of Top Tier Boxing and their proud sponsors, Buy Insulation, Synergy Direct, and Think Green Partners. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, your timekeeper at the bell, Stephen Pucci, and your third person in the ring in charge of the action, referee Amy Poo. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. She's wearing the red and white. Her official weight of 10 stones bang on. She has a record of 16 fights, 7 losses, 1 draw, and 8 wins. Hailing from Buenos Aires, Argentina, Augustina Marisa. And her opponents across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. She's wearing the purple with yellow trim. Her official weight of 9 stones and 10 pounds. She is currently undefeated with 7 wins, and 4 of those wins come in by way of knockout. Hailing from Nigeria, introducing Elizabeth Oshoba.
Listen to me at all times. Watch your head, no hitting behind the head. This is the line, no low blows. Okay? When I say break, step back. Yeah? Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves.
Seconds out, round 1.
Here we go then, first of 6 in this featherweight division. The unbeaten Elizabeth Oshoba, who's looked really impressive her last couple of starts. Terrific last round stoppage out in Denmark back in January. And that was for a fringe title that earned her some ranking points with the WBC, and high ranking points at that. So she is making her way. She's long rangey, she's got a good skill set. Look out for the jab and the long right hand as well. The skills that have taken her all across the world as an amateur, Andy, and now she looks a natural fit for the pros.
She really does, just switching stances there. She snapped that jab a few times, and against somebody like Rojas, who's that much shorter, who'll look to stoop and try and come forward herself, that's what you need to do. That division, that featherweight division's a good division as well, isn't it? You look at Sky Nicholson, Raven Chapman, Karis Artingstall, fighters we know over here who are all circling, and she wants to get into that mix as quick as she can, really.
Indeed, indeed. And it'll be interesting to see whether that's at super light or whether in fact she just trims a tiny bit, and it won't take much to get down to light. How long she could do that's another thing entirely. She's in great shape, long-limbed as you can see, but 136 I think she weighed coming into this one. And you fancy probably they'll be looking at the Commonwealth title sooner rather than later. It's Kenya's Sarah Achieng who is the super lightweight champion. Whether they can tempt her across remains to be seen. But there are going to be options anyway, whether it's 140 or whether it's possibly 135. She's got the skill set to be making waves, you fancy, sooner rather than later. Just occasionally switches to southpaw, trying to outfox, ask a few questions of Rojas. Good start, platform built for Oshoba. And a real help, Andy, as well. You know, a long, long way from home. It's a different country, it's a different culture, different foods, different regimes. That the fact she's got Kajawa, Tosin Kajawa, a 22-year-old, the fact she's got kind of him as a shoulder to lean on. The fact they've got each other, in fact, as boxers from the same part of the world, must be a huge fill-up for them.
Yeah, I don't think you can underestimate that, you know, because it's easy to feel like athletes should just be able to assimilate and fit in because that's their job, and we can be quite kind of glib about it in team sports as well as individual sports. This is what you do, you should just make the adjustments, but it's not always, it's just not always that easy. And I think that, you know, them being here as a pair, I think will definitely help them. But you look at her in there and she is a natural athlete, isn't she, for a start? You would 100% say that about her. And she's trying to put some meat onto these punches. Yeah,
she was given the equivalent of a talking to rocket up the backside in between rounds, because she has come out firing. And I said the right hand often long as the punch. It was a really short one that stopped Michela Braga, the Italian, in Denmark last time up. And that was carrying her power into the final round of 10, and she's come out in blistering fashion here in the second.
It's always good when you can force a stoppage late on, because it suggests that you can carry that heat, that power deep into a fight. So that's something that always catches my eye if I see it on somebody's record. She was well ahead, she was winning the fight, but she forced a stoppage, and that is always a good thing.
Just a blink, look of discomfort on the face of Rojas. He's under a bit of pressure here, just under a minute to go in the second round. A very business-like approach from Oshoba throughout this particular session.
It'll be impressive if she manages to get rid of Rojas. It'll be impressive if she really puts a dent in her, because you look at that record and going the distance against Delphine Pursuit, that is not an easy thing to do, because she just throws blizzards and blizzards of punches. But she's under the gun a bit here.
Hurt her a couple of times with that right hand, which is the punch for Oshoba. And we know how Pursuit fights. He's full steam ahead, isn't it? High octane, big engine, fights at a fast pace, and Oshoba trying to emulate a bit of that in that second round. That might just have been a breakthrough round. Little shake of the head I can see up to our right from Rojas. There's a glimpse at her, deeply uncomfortable moments throughout that round.
The accuracy has been really good from Oshoba. She's looked to snap that jab, throw that right hand, but step onto the inside as well and whip in that uppercut and lead off with a left hook, a good tight left hook every now and again. So she's happy to try and keep it long or take it up close. And with the way that Rojas, being that much shorter, does that basically, just keeps that tight guard and almost walks in. That uppercut that she caught her with there, that's a really good shot for her, isn't it, basically? It takes some confidence to throw it, to lead off with it, because if you don't land it, you've got a problem. But she's not throwing it far. She's taking her feet in and just sliding it up between that guard. So this is interesting. If she can keep the, as we said with Zach Fee, if she can keep the tempo high here, then I think she might be able to get something done.
Only lost 3 of her 60 amateur fights, did Oshoba. One of those in the Commonwealth Games to Belfast's Michaela Walsh. Underlines what a performance that was from Walsh, and a couple of big right hands at the start of this round, the start of the third for Oshoba again.
Little bit of marking up, swelling maybe around that left thigh there of Rojas, because she's trying to cover up, but when she does like she is there, you can see that she's still feeling the weight of the punch through that guard, through those gloves, and she's finding it difficult to stay out of the way.
She can't get anything off. She was trying in that corner to try and mount an assault of her own, just to find some kind of offense to stem the flow, but she couldn't, and it's one-way traffic, this. Nice little uppercut, then a stiff jab to follow from Oshoba. It's having things pretty much her own way here. And as Andy said, good spot that. You can see the left eye just starting to swell up, mark up for Rojas.
And just backing up and keeping that distance, Oshoba, because the only way you can really get into trouble against Rojas is if you allow her to get too close to you. Basically, you allow her to walk in, but she's never allowed that, and that right hand again
right
crashes
hand
through.
Yeah, big right hand. It got split the guard. She was starting just to do that, press through the guard. Rojas, very unsteady, struggling to get up, and she doesn't beat the count. Right at the end of round 3, it had been coming. It had been in the post, it's fair to say, through the first couple of rounds. And that was a big breakthrough, and a bit of a statement in truth.
It was. It absolutely was, because you look at Rojas, and the fact is, of those 7 defeats, she's been the distance with Lauren Parker, who's a good fighter, generally at a lower weight, so a different kind of proposition. Ramla Ali, who, as we know, is an accomplished fighter, and Delphine Bassoon, who has operated at super featherweight and lightweight, and who is a very, very aggressive fighter. But I don't think she's been in with anybody, Rojas, who punches quite like Oshoba does. And she put them together really well. There wasn't much coming back, and she is a fairly static target, so you don't want to get too carried away with it. But at the same time, she has managed to do there something that nobody else has done, and she looked really nice and sharp.
Yeah, I think that's the important thing to say. It was one-way traffic. She was able to tee off. She was pretty much able, Oshoba, to do whatever she wanted. But look at that shot. That is a cracker. And it had been coming just in the seconds building up to it. She was just starting to pierce the guard. And that is a beauty. That's a knockout punch. Fair play to Rojas. It was a delayed reaction, but that was a knockout shot.
It was a big shot. It was that kind of dip glide, wasn't it? You just drop that left shoulder, step in and throw that right hand in that just very, very kind of shallow arc straight down the middle. She doesn't pull off that right hand, that straight right. She sends it as true as an arrow down the middle. It was a good all-round display. I don't think you could really have asked for much more from her there.
She's going to be a bit of a handful, I think, around her weight, whether it is lightweight or super light welter in old money. Yeah, she's going to be a handful. She is going to be a handful, and they can just tighten up, sharpen up the length of that right hand, because we've seen it in 3 fights now. When she shortens the right hand, it's a really damaging shot, and that's probably something Tony Boyd, with all that experience, they'll be working on, because that's going to be a weapon. Absolutely,
and you can completely understand why they've taken her on. You really can, because you look at some of the fighters they've had down there, amateur and pro in recent years. You're looking at the Selby's, you're looking at Cordina, Craig Evans, to name just a handful of them. It's a very, very good gym.
Fair play to Sean Murray, who's the local businessman in the southwest, who was scouring the internet, looking for potential talent and stars from Africa that he could maybe help with their careers. And well, he happened upon Oshoba and Kajawa, who've come across, and my goodness me, they might have a little diamond, a piece of gold in the shape of Elizabeth Oshoba, who sparkled tonight and made an impression on Augustina Rojas. Let's get confirmation of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 1 minute and 46 seconds of round number 3. Your winner by TKO and still undefeated, Elizabeth Oshoba.
Well, Elizabeth Oshoba doing what hadn't been done. Augustina Rojas from Buenos Aires, and moves to 8-0. And that's 5 stoppages along the way. And with her range, those long arms, the spearing jab, the athleticism, ticks a load of boxes, and she's going to be great to watch. There'll be a few who have been served notice tonight, and whether that's across the continents, Commonwealth-wise, or maybe even globally.
Absolutely, absolutely. You've alluded to the weight there a couple of times, and it's kind of fascinating that back in January, that WBC silver was at featherweight, and as you said, she was 136 tonight, 126, the featherweight limit. How's that possible now when you look at, just look at the shape of her? How did she do that in January? I really have no idea.
Yeah, absolutely. But, well, options, one way and another. Well, it's feather, super feather, light welter, loads of opportunities and bags of talent as well. Let's get some reaction now with Ali.
Elizabeth, you moved to 8-0. That's the 2nd stoppage in a row. Just sum up how that performance went.
Really, it wasn't a tough fight, though, yeah. But she's good. She's tough as well. But, you know, I've been training, and so it's just so easy for me. Like, I just want to thank everyone here, my supporters, my sponsors, my manager, my coaches, everyone here in Nigeria. Nigeria, they carry last, yeah.
Look, a bit of a statement in there tonight. Was that the intention going in? Was that the game plan, to get a statement?
Actually, no. Knockouts just come, yeah. You don't plan knockouts. But I know I'm going to stop her, sure. I know it's going to be an easy fight for me. Because I was looking forward to meet the ones at the top. Like I was number 7 in the world, yeah. I'm looking forward to meet 6, 5, 3, 2, 1, anybody. And I'm using this moment to call out Sky Nicholson. I want to fight her. Like, let's get the fight on. Sky Nicholson, just let's get the fight on. Let her take the fight.
That would be a good fight. Tony, let's bring you in. What have you been working on in the gym to get performances like that?
Everything, really. She's works really hard in the gym every session. She's normally the last one in, first one out, the other way around, like, you know. She comes in the gym, she works, the bags, the pads. She enjoys doing everything she does, sparring, and we're just waiting for a big fight now.
This was made at featherweight. You've been up and down the weights. What is your ideal weight? What weight do you feel strongest at?
I think featherweight, super feather, lightweight. I'm ready to fight anyone. I'm just ready.
It was your first time on Top Tier Show. How did you find it?
It was amazing. Like, it was nice view, everyone around. It was amazing. I love it. It was so nice. Thank you to the sponsors.
It was great to have you on the show. Great performance. Well done.
Thank you.